Hey friends, it's Laura with Laura's Handmade Haven. Welcome or welcome back. I'm so glad you joined me today. We're continuing our Scrappy Strips 2 quilt, and we're using the Kaleidoscope fabrics from benartex fabric. On the design wall behind me, you can see that I have all 16 of my Scrappy Strips 2 blocks completed. They are cut and sized to 10.5 inches unfinished each, and I've kind of laid them out on the design wall as one choice of what you could do with this quilt. Now obviously if you want all of your blocks, all the stripes going up and down or across, you can obviously do that if you want. My original intent was to have it alternate between vertical and horizontal, as you see on the design wall behind me. Now I will point out, just in case you're wondering, the way I went about this was I took each one of those strip sets and I cut it into the 4 blocks, and then I started with my largest diagonal of 4 blocks up here, and I started with this block with the horizontal, and when I went to this one I flipped it, and so the top strip up there is the bottom strip here, and then I just repeated top and bottom strip, just that green strip there. See how it alternates between top and bottom. I did the same thing for the vertical stripes. So on this one the little purple swirl is on the right, on this one it's the left, on this one it's the right, and the last block for this one is way down there in the corner, and again then it's on the left again. So that's kind of my method to the madness on how I decided to lay out my Scrappy Strips 2 quilt, but there are a million different ways that you can lay out your quilt, and I encourage you to be creative. Try a few different things out. If you don't have a design wall, try your design floor. It works just as well. In addition to the block layout this week, we're also going to be working on that entire quilt top center. So that means we got to get our cornerstones and our sashing strips together with these blocks to complete that 16 block approach in the middle of our quilt. So the next thing that you need to do is grab your sashing strips and just sew them end to end in a strip set. And then once you have this strip set sewn together, you're going to cut these down into 2.5 inch squares. Now, let me show you a trick on that, because that strip set is not 2.5 inches wide. Now I have gone ahead and cut down one of my strip sets into the 2.5 inch squares, but I still have this one left because I wanted to show you a little trick on this. What you're going to do is you're just going to take your 2.5 inch square or a square ruler of choice that you can cut down to 2.5 inches. And you're going to cut on either side of it, and then you're just going to spin it, and you're going to trim off about 1/8 of an inch on either side. Like I said in the introductory video, when you were looking at our cornerstones, these are not going to be exactly the same width from one another. The middle one is going to be a little wider. I'm fine with that. If you're not, then the one thing you can do is just adjust these seams down just a smidge. So instead of 1/4 inch, you're going to have just a little bit more than 1/4 inch, and that will get your strip set down to 2.5 inches. Now, like I said, I'm fine with it not being exactly 2.5 because I'm fine with just cutting off that little bit of excess on the both sides. And I'm just fine with that. So let me get the rest of these cornerstones cut. In order to get our quilt top center together, you're gonna need your cornerstones, your sashing, and your blocks. This is when you have to think about, what is my space like? Because a quilt top like this does not need to go together in horizontal or vertical rows. It's whichever is easiest for you. Now, when I look at my design wall, I have 2 closet doors, basically, that I have my design wall on. And for me, it's easier for me to build vertical rows than horizontal rows. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a design board. I'm gonna start at the bottom, and I'm going to pick up the blocks exactly the way they are on the design wall. And I'm just going to stack them right on top of one another. Now, if you want to help yourself before you start doing this, take a picture of your design wall or design floor, and that way you'll have an image of what the quilt top looked like. So just in case you get lost somewhere along the way when you're putting your quilt top together, you'll have that photo as a reference. But for me, this is my design board, and I'm heading to the sewing machine to put my first row together. Now this pattern, if you're an experienced quilter, is going to be very simple. If you're a newer quilter, just pay attention to the project guide. Don't forget you can download your free copy of the project guide in the description box down below. And you're just going to follow along. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is my first row of blocks right here. That's what I'm putting together. That's what I took off the design wall. So I know that there's a sashing strip above and below this block. So all I need is 5 of my white sashing strips. Now, if you're afraid that you're going to forget which is the top of your block, you can put a little pin in it. That's something that's very helpful. Just a little tip for you. I'm going to keep sewing my sashing to the tops of my blocks. That way I know which one is the top. Now, when you get to this point, you might get confused, but don't worry, because remember, the top strip is the one that has the sashing and the bottom strip does not. So we'll flip these two together, sew these together, and we almost have our first row put together. The only thing that makes up our quilt top center are these block rows and our sashing rows. And remember, we're building vertically, not horizontally. So this was my first row that I put together. So the next thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and build out all my sashing rows. That's going to allow me to just build my other block rows and get everything together really quickly. So I'm going to show you how to do the sashing rows, and then I'm going to work on the rest of my blocks and sashing rows, and then we'll wrap up. The way I like to remember the sashing rows for this quilt is that the cornerstones, all of the ones with 2 oranges are going to be vertical, and all the ones with 2 blues are going to be horizontal. So that's just the way that I can remember to do this. Now the cornerstones also alternate between vertical and horizontal, but all of the orange ones in my quilt are going to be vertical, and all of the blue are going to be horizontal. You don't have to keep referring to the pattern, and then whatever color you start with in the upper left is going to be the one that you're going to need 3 of for each row. I started with orange, the vertical orange, so I know that I'm going to need 3 sashing rows that look like this, and then I'll need 2 sashing rows that start with the blue. I have all my rows put together, and I have all my sashing strips put together. And so if you've seen my other videos, you may have heard me say this before, but I just want to show you one more time why I love Cornerstones so much. So I have my 2.5-inch wide sashing, and then I have my, between each of my blocks, and then I also have my sashing strip that I'm going to attach to the side of my row. This is the last sashing strip I have to attach to before I put everything together. But what is really cool about Cornerstones is that the Cornerstones are 2.5 inches and the sashing is 2.5 inches. So they are going to line up and nest exactly between every one of my blocks. And that is so fun because it's going to make me have the ability to just make sure everything stays in line, both horizontally and vertically across my quilt. And if you've ever put a quilt together without cornerstones, then you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes when you start putting your blocks together as you work down the rows and work across, oh my gosh, there is like, if you are off 1/8 of an inch, you might as well be off 3 inches because it looks so glaringly obvious when you put your quilt out on the bed or on the design wall or wherever you're looking at it. If there is any little bit off, you will see it because those blocks will not line up perfectly across and up and down your quilt. So cornerstones are your friend because they are going to allow you to have matching points all the way down and across all of your rows. And again, since these sashing strips are between each of my rows, I can use them every single time to just match them up and lock those seams right into place where they should be. That's just going to help me go all the way down the side of this quilt and know that I have everything aligned perfectly. Now, as I go across this block, I'm going to watch to see which way these seams are on the other side, just to make sure everybody is sewn into the quilt going the same direction, because otherwise I'm going to have twisted seams when I go to press this and go quilt it, and you're really going to see it. Now, you're going to notice that some of these I was not very careful when I sewed them together the first time, so I'm just making sure that they match the other side. All right, so the other thing with this quilt is, remember, we are using those pre-cuts from benartex, and we're using the strippies. So the strippies and all of their pre-cuts have this nice little pinked edge, and you need to, depending on the manufacturer and depending on the cut, to be quite honest, you need to measure your pre-cuts, and that way you can decide if that pre-cut is right at the measurement from the concave or the convex part of that point of the pinking side. And I know that all the benartex strippies that I had in this pack, well, I didn't measure all of them, but the majority of them, the pink edge is right at 2.5. So that means I want to make sure that that little triangle is right at the edge of my straight cut sashing, because that's going to make sure that I have the correct seam allowance and the correct measurements for my quilt. To wrap up today, I just want to say thank you to benartex Fabrics for supplying all the Kaleidoscope fabrics for this sew-along on Laura's Handmade Haven. I appreciate their support, and I love being one of the 2026 social stars for them. This quilt is coming together quite well, and this is the Scrappy Strips 2 quilt. Remember, you can get that project guide in the description box down below. I don't give you all the measurements and information in the project guide because I expect you to watch the videos and take notes as you follow along. The next video after this, we'll be talking about those borders, and that includes that piano key border. Now, I know that many of you have been asking, how do you get that piano key border together so quickly and easily? I can't wait to show you in the next video, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed what you saw in this video, or you picked up a tip or trick or two, please leave them in the comments below. I love hearing from you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. Until next time, find joy in all you do, carve out some time for crafting and creating, and remember, it's always better when you make stuff up.